one. Yeah, we're live.
All right, I see it. Boom.
Perfect. Send me the link, please, and I will share it in Facebook and stuff. Okay.
So, wait. Because I have it on the desktop.
Okay.
It's the time to connect to YouTube.
Yeah, so en este momento tenemos algunos visitantes, esperaremos que lleguen un poco más. Chicos, buenos días, espero que estén todos bien. Discúlpenos por la demora, tuvimos unos problemas técnicos que ya estamos solucionando, así que nada, gracias por conectarse y en breve estaremos empezando la charla con Julien. Inviten a sus amigos para que más personas puedan estar presentes. Compartan ese link del live y arrancamos.
There you go.
So yeah.
The link.
Okay. Ah, fuck, I lost your... I don't know what happens this. Damn it.
What did you use?
That your screen start to appear like a pop-up.
Okay.
I'm not the full screen. Damn it.
No worries.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, but I want to see your full screen, so...
Okay.
Yeah. Try sharing your screen now. Let's see if I can... I don't know what the fuck should I do here.
On the iPad?
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Use the iPad.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, now I have full screen of you.
Okay, I'll stop recording.
Okay, sure, here.
Hey, there's Hassan. Hello, Hassan.
How's your Spanish, man?
Sorry?
How's your Spanish?
Oh, rusty.
Rusty.
Hablo un poquito.
That's perfect. You can present yourself in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mr.
I don't know what kind of job I'll have.
Mr. Hassan is with us. Hassan, big hug, man.
Hi, guys. Hello, Hassan.
Yeah. So.
Are you the only one?
Yeah. Cool, Hassan.
Where are the 9,000 people?
I don't know where they are.
Yeah, they will come.
Yeah. Last time we had like 70 more or less. It was fine. For now, I will start.
Nice.
Okay, so we can start talking, I guess.
Okay, sure.
In some minutes, I will share the link. But now, yeah. Please, Julien, present yourself in Spanish.
Hola, hola a todos. And I switch to English now. Well, my name is Julien Schleiffer. I live in France. I'm 37 years old. And I'm doing art, communication, graphic design, illustration, and motion design, animation. So I've been doing this for 10 years now, and things are moving, and I'm doing like a lot of stuff, like a lot of different stuff. So I'm trying to narrow it towards the animation and illustration part. Voila.
What kind of animation do you do, man?
I used to do motion design for animation company for like communication companies. So usually I have clients that come and they have something to sell or express, and they will use my skills to communicate and to make short animations so they can explain a service or a product. And usually it's like 2D animation that I animate with After Effects. So I'm doing the illustration part, and I separate layers, and then I work and I animate everything in After Effects.
That's great. Like between animation and motion graphics and or not?
And illustration.
And illustration. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a bridge in between everything, and sometimes there is more illustration. Sometimes it's more on the animation part, like with simple pictures. It really depends on the client and what they want to express or sell.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about your style, because I know that you have a style, man, and
Right.
you are like super loyal to it, and
Okay.
every single piece that you upload, both in ArtStation and or in Instagram, is like with the same style, you know.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how to describe it, but as soon as I see like saturated colors, you know, you
Yeah.
have like yellows, you have like a cyan, and you like to mix them to create portraits and to create like figure drawing, and you don't use lines, but you use like just strokes.
Yeah, yeah, true, yeah.
So,
I don't
yeah,
know if
talk
I
to
have
us.
such a special style. Probably people see it more than I do because my nose is like on top of it, like so I cannot have distance. But yeah, I'm trying to have like a fresh or powerful style, something that catches the eye, and yeah, it depends. I mean, there is periods where my style was maybe, or the picture was a bit more controlled with the amount of colors and stuff, and this month, especially because it's the month of May and there is the hashtag May Sketch a Day, I'm pushing myself to experiment more with colors, with different stuff that I'm not used to try. And so for the month of May, every day I'm posting a picture on my Instagram page with like a lot of different possible directions. Usually when I start, I don't even know what I'm going to paint. And the point is to maybe try a new palette, a color palette, or maybe try, I don't know, like something that, like, I don't know, maybe a landscape or something.
Okay.
And when I do this, usually I start and I let my mind just go around the canvas, like trying to see what can come out of the experiment. And it's surprising me as much as probably people looking at it. So, yeah.
Okay. Because I pronounce myself a fan of your work, man, and it's really great.
Thank you.
What I've seen,
Thank you very
maybe
much.
you've seen in the comments and with likes in Instagram, because it's really great what you can do.
Thank
And
you.
Hassan says, excellent shapes, Heavy Paint Pro. But yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Excellent shapes.
Thanks,
man.
Hassan.
I
Thanks,
think
Hassan.
it's
Thank
great.
you. Thanks,
And
guys.
what do you enjoy the most when you're doing it? Like figure drawing
With the-
or landscapes or cityscapes?
That's a good question. I like very much the human figure. I've been attending life drawing classes like the past year, and I used to do it when I was in school before. So what I like the most is to be around people and draw them whether they see me or not. So I will draw their portraits or catch silhouettes in the streets, or I'm going every day or like every other day with a friend in the streets to just look around with people. I have a sketchbook with me, and I'm basically trying to. I'm trying to catch people like that. For example, like I'm just in the street. There is people passing by,
Okay.
and I will just grab silhouettes, and yeah, it's like feeding my mental landscape, let's say. So little by little, you're in a bar, there's this guy sitting there, he's drinking some, like he's not catching me or seeing me. And it's like I'm catching like glimpses from my everyday life.
That's
So
great, man.
thank you. And so that's the thing that I think like infusing in my digital work, then that's why I'm probably painting more people and I don't know, women, or like I like the human silhouette, and then it's like every exercise that I do outside is like probably pushed back in my work in the computer then.
That's great. I was talking the other day with Somnath Pal. I don't know if you remember, he was in the Trojan horse.
Yeah, we met actually at the airport with Somnath. I was happy to see him on your podcast. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we were sitting and he was in front of me and I was like, hey man, and he had the T-shirt from Trojan horse and I had the bracelet, and so we just started to talk, and right after there was a girl at the end of the room in the airport, and I told him, yeah, you know what, let's go meet her. And actually she's a superstar, you know, she was super friendly and stuff, and then I discovered her work. It's I think it's Sasha Francesca or something. She's from Ukraine, I think, and her work is like top notch. I'm probably butchering her name. Let me check.
Ok, un saludo para Nicolás Marín, que está conectado. So yeah.
Sasha Franceva, sorry.
That's
Hola, Nicolás.
That's great. I mean, there are a lot of people with great talent in the Trojan horse, and we don't know, you know. They look super humble and super nice and super cool, and they are like big masters. Yeah.
I remember meeting Max Greke there. He was talking with Serge Biro, and I was talking with Serge Biro, and this guy come with the hat and stuff, and he's shaking hands with Serge, and I'm seeing his badge, you know, and it's written Max Greke. I'm like, wow, this is the guy making those super like interesting characters and stuff. Like his work is very, very interesting too.
Yeah,
but super humble, you know. That's cool.
All of them. I like to talk more with Serge Biro, but it's weird.
Yeah.
And he only speaks in French.
Yeah, for sure. Well, probably he's in Montreal, so they are French speaking there. But I think he can manage with some English.
I can think so. Can you show us some of your illustration work?
All right.
If we can see it.
Let me share my screen if I can manage to.
I don't know if it is different from your daily sketches. I don't know.
Do you see my screen now?
Not yet. Almost.
I think it should be visible now. Still not?
Not still.
Let's see.
I see you again.
Stop recording. Well, it's weird. I know it's here. I'm recording, but I'm not sharing screen. Sorry. Sharing screen.
But keep recording.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
And normally you see my screen now.
Almost. Yeah, I can see it there.
Yes, cool. Okay, so this is my Instagram page. Let me see. Maybe you want to see my website. Monday. I don't even have it in my bookmarks.
Why UP Monday, bro?
When I started this nickname at the beginning, I was imagining my everyday life and as a freelancer, or maybe if I own a company someday, and I wanted to think about the people that comes and work with me, or whether I work there, and thinking that I don't want to postpone, going to work on Monday morning. I want to wake up and be happy and think, well, cool, I have some really cool projects waiting for me right now, so I'm not staying in bed for too long. So this was the mindset when I found this nickname, UP Monday. It's like, yippee, let's go,
Let's go. It's another week, let's go for it. Yeah. Ok, un saludo para Viaje y Arte con Javier. Javier, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días. Chicos, nuevamente gracias. Gracias por conectarse. Es temprano, yo sé, pero vamos a aprender mucho con Julien. Así que pongan mucha atención, que es un gran artista.
Thank you. Gracias.
Si tienen preguntas en inglés o en español, háganlas, que él está dispuesto a responderlas.
So let's see what you see. I'm working like different kind of stuff, but probably you will see that my style is standing more like in the Spider-Verse kind of stuff.
Yep.
If you can relate.
Yeah.
Probably because the kind of people I liked and I worked with was Alberto Mielgo and these guys, Yun Ling, all these masters for me were people I've been following the work for years. And I've always liked the fact that they don't try to mimic gouache or watercolor or this kind of stuff. They use digital tools as what they are, for what they are. And this struck my mind when I heard this stuff. I was thinking, yes, there is no need to find watercolor brushes or oily brushes and to kind of make like fake art with digital tools. So yeah, what I'm trying to do is to not neglect those tools and to make them to put them on the canvas for what they are. So sometimes I will use the tools from Photoshop, like to move, resize things, screw things a bit, but I'm mostly using very, very simple tools like the round brush, the square brush, and I'm pushing the color flat and solid colors, and yeah, I'm trying to build scenes out of it, like making some or putting some dimension in my pictures, trying to control a bit the storytelling, and then it's just about making a salad. You have two ingredients, and you want them to blend in a graceful way. So that is, for example, the picture you see. That is what I've done. I had in mind, this was my greeting cards from last year. I'm not doing this very often, but I wanted to make a picture instead of making a short animation, because it takes probably less time, and at least you can share it and people will see, and they don't have to spend 5 minutes watching. They can just have a look and enjoy it or not. So these are the stuff that I'm doing like on a personal level, for example.
Yeah, I think it's very great what you said about we don't have to mimic traditional art, because we have to understand, and that's great, because for me right now it's like, okay, yeah, it's like mind-opening. We have to understand that this is a different medium,
Yeah.
And we have different possibilities with it. I mean, with traditional art we have a lot of possibilities, but with digital art we have another more different possibilities, and we have to explore them. And
exactly, it's another level.
This is not an animation, but I can see a lot of movement in the last picture, and in this picture I can see a lot of movement, and I think it's great. And we can see a lot of Spider-Verse into your. And this one is that's great.
This one is probably from 2016. It's like five years old already, or 4 years old, but the style was already there for sure. But thank you. I had this feedback already that it's very cinematic and dynamic, and I think that is what I'm trying to push now in my work, because I'm doing by now concept art, and I'm slowly, little by little, entering film or like TV industry. So I'm very happy that people start to resonate with this stuff. Because to me it was just like making a nice picture that tells something, that says something, but I was missing the audience that was receiving that thing and telling me, okay, I get the point, I understand what it means and what your picture is conveying, and I'm very happy that people are responsive to that now.
Cool, man. Let me ask something here. Chicos, ¿cómo están todos? Nicolás, un saludo para Santiago. Pregunta sin miedo. Para Nicolás, para Anthony, para Shushu. Si están bien con inglés, nos comentan porfa. Si no, pues igual tienen alguna duda en español o algo, me avisan y pues les traducimos o le hago la pregunta a Julien. No hay lío. Entonces me confirman porfa si están bien ahí con inglés. Bueno, esperemos un ratito. Let's wait for some time if they answer, if they're fine with English or they want like some translation or something.
No problema, no hay problema.
No. Alors, on peut parler en français et...
Ah, parfait, c'est bien. Très bien. It's very cosmopolitan, that thing.
Right. Oui,
Let's switch to Chinese.
c'est une conversation très internationale alors.
Exactement, parfait.
Ok,
Okay, Nicolas says todo bien in inglés.
Excellent, perfect. Yeah.
Gracias, Nicolas.
Yeah, thank you very much. Shushu,
Thank you,
Nicolas, Javier, yeah. Dice, Julian, what are your main clients right now?
The thing is, I don't have main clients. They come and go. Sometimes I have I'm used to work very much for companies like small communication agencies, ad agencies, and they come to me and say, well, we need a 30-second or an animation for 1 minute. And lastly, I got in touch with a company in Ireland that is called Ante.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm very happy because I used to watch their work when I was a student or just out of school. They used to work with the same software I was using for 3D, which is called Softimage. Rest in peace, Softimage. And yeah, we got in touch recently, and I'm working for them for like concept art for a TV series. I cannot say much about it, but yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay, let's wait. Anthony says, okay, Anthony. Bueno, los que no han entendido muchas cosas de lo que ha dicho Julián realmente han sido muy interesantes. Él mencionaba hace un rato que en su estilo él intenta utilizar las herramientas digitales por lo que son, ¿sí? Herramientas digitales. Él no intenta imitar ningún tipo de pincel tradicional, porque él dice, o sea, así como algunos maestros como Alberto Miego, ¿sí? Él acepta que el medio digital es diferente y tiene sus propias herramientas. Entonces él lo que quiere hacer es tratar de dominar esas herramientas digitales y aplicarlas por su naturaleza en sus ilustraciones. ¿Listo? Él no trata de imitar ningún tipo de pincel tradicional. Ahora él dice que prefiere utilizar, digamos, no hacer animaciones complejas porque toman mucho tiempo, sino que prefiere dar nociones de movimiento con sus ilustraciones, contar muchas historias en una sola imagen y que las personas se diviertan con ella, ¿sí? Y al final hablaba de que tiene muchos clientes, de que van y vienen, y que está muy feliz porque pudo trabajar con unos clientes de un estudio de Irlanda que él admiraba mucho cuando era estudiante, y ahora pues tuvo la oportunidad, y eso es muy gratificante para él. Ese fue como un pequeño resumen de lo que hemos hablado. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Julian, let's keep going. Yeah.
All right.
I love that DJ. Oh, man,
Thank you.
I'm a really fan of your work, man.
It's actually a friend, Shoes, that guy, air DJ. It was in a party somewhere, and it's like something that students have to understand, that we use as professionals references. So I used here a photo reference that I took from a party somewhere, and my friend was making the fake DJ thing. So, and this guy actually on the left is a celebrity, so it was funny that guy there is the real DJ on the left. And so yeah, we use references like for the second picture here, the Goodbye Zurich. It's a picture I took while taking the train back from Zurich a few years ago, and there was this lady there all alone by herself in the middle of the station, the railway station.
Yeah, that's great.
And first the station was very beautiful, and she was there like with this beautiful dress or skirt, and I was thinking, okay, what is going on in her mind? Maybe she feels alone in that empty place or something, and sometimes you just catch moments and you try to push them in your pictures. Like for example, this is also a reference from my office actually. And then here it helps you work with colors, balancing pictures, like composing pictures, and these are like small exercises that everyone can do. It's not super complex. You just have to spend time on it, and then people can project and think, okay, well, if that person can do that, maybe that person can also do something like different. Like it can be a landscape with a castle or something. It can be like a seaside environment, anything. But then it helps people. Like that is what I'm doing, for example, for Ante now. I'm doing concept art, so they need frames so that people can project about what the final film or the final picture is going to look like. So this helps people all along the way, from the storyboard artist to the director at the end, to decide, okay, we want this thing, but we don't like this color. And so all these exercises are helping you or me to kind of build this ability to discuss and exchange with people that then have to decide for something during during the creation of the film, for example.
That's amazing, man. I saw there the Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn Cup of 2015. Man, I still have it. This is my favorite cup, bro. Every single day I use it to take my coffee.
I use it.
That's amazing.
I use it too. Yeah. That is my. Sorry.
I was going to say, if Andre is watching the podcast,
I hope, yeah.
Right. Cheers to Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn.
Yeah. Shout out to the tribe.
Yeah, I don't know if Hassan is still there. Okay. It's Santiago asks, do you use heavy paint or Procreate or both of them?
I actually use both. I have the iPad for maybe 3 years now, and I used to work with Procreate from the beginning because it was very convenient, it's very well done. But since I've tried heavy paint, I have a hard time going back to Procreate. I use Procreate with my live drawing session when I have a model in front and we have to sketch quick. It's very easy because you can just turn off the layer, make another layer on top and sketch again, and turn off and make another layer and sketch, because it's like very quick poses. But you cannot do this yet with heavy paint. But for the creative part, when I have an illustration to do and just to have fun finding colors, shapes and stuff, heavy paint is the way to go for me now. I'm surprised how much this software just changed the way I perceive digital art. I used to work before, and when I was doing a sketch or a picture on my computer, like whether it's the laptop or the desktop, I found that I was very trying to make beautiful pictures, like something clean and to control the lines and stuff, and to make things a bit too precious. And with heavy paint, I've noticed that it's just it's like pouring color on the canvas. You just push the color, it's out of the tube, and then you just scratch everywhere. You push it left and right, and then at the end it's like you're really melting with the tools you use. It's so simple in the way it's designed. I will show you a quick demo bit after. It's so simple in the way it's designed that you just take your tool, you take your color, bam, you put it on the canvas, and you do it like for, I don't know, maybe all the pictures you see, it's like maximum a couple of hours on my Instagram. Let me go to my Instagram.
That's great. I mean, here. I love how you play with shapes, and you're also playing with light, but you are also playing with a lot of tones. Maybe I can see most of your work is like based on tones. Like
exactly,
tones, composition. How do you mix them? I mean, how do you know what kind of tones are you going to use, or how do you know what kind of tones are you going to mix, or you just let your pencil travels around the canvas?
It depends. I think the way I like to work recently, let me open this one for example. The way, you can see it when I play the time lapse. Sometimes I have the idea, or I've seen a picture with like a few main elements or a few main colors, and I think, okay, this palette is working very fine, very well. For example, the blue and the pink on this one, and then I'm thinking, I would like to try something with those colors that I'm not used to associate. I'm not used to work with those. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'll just put some colors on the back, like the blue and the pink you see first, and then I'll start to scratch with different tools. And then there is this thing called, I think, pareidolie. It's like when you look at clouds and you see forms and shapes or animals or this kind of stuff. And when this happens, when you scratch your canvas and put colors and stuff, you start to see shapes that probably you were not thinking first. It's just like randomized. But then you start to think, oh, I think this could be like the head or the arm, and you start to land your character or your silhouettes around or on top of the shapes you did before. And this is something I like to do in my work, to have like let's play this one,
I love it. I
to
love
have
that
something.
one.
Thank you. Well, like I had the picture of a model next to the canvas, so I had this reference, and I don't remember what the color was. I think the colors were very simple, normal, like it's like skin color, skin tones, white skin tones, or pale skin tone. But I was thinking, let's try it with like punchy colors. Like so, I started with yellow, and then I'm looking for like the opposite color, so it has contrast, and then from this opposite color, I'm looking for the third one that is a bit more dark to make the shades, the shadow and stuff. And then I'm slowly sculpting the face out of all this stuff. You have that thing that is a bit messy at the beginning, and little by little you scratch, you carve, you define lines and shapes, and you build actually an architecture. That's the way I like to work.
That's great, man.
Thank you.
It says here, Santiago, me recuerda mucho a Mielgo y a Michal o Michael Sautiruk.
Thank you. Thank you, Santiago. I think I know his work. I think he was probably one of the guys that worked on Klaus, the Netflix film. Okay. I think he was. No, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm mixing it because these are Polish guys also. But his work is amazing, like Michal Sautiruk. I'm always forgetting Sautiruk. Yeah, probably it's because of the shape language. Like Mielgo for sure was a big reference for me. I'm trying to not copy or mimic him too much, because there is only one Mielgo and there is no need for another, like less good artist that does the same thing. But still, those stuff, I absorbed them at some point, and it's probably part of my own shape vocabulary and the way I see things. And so, yeah, these are top artists for me for sure.
It's great because the last project I did was like a really fast one. I don't know if you saw the Batman that I did.
I think I've seen something pass by.
And I was again. I mean, like, I'm obsessed with kind of your work with colors, so I am trying to experiment with different super saturated colors, and yeah, that's what I did, and I think the result was pretty good. I mean, if I'm not so used to use a lot of color in my compositions, because I'm more like 3D, but as I mean, in a contrast of your work, I prefer to use lines, not shapes. I need to understand more shapes, but for now my style is more about lines. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use lines using these kind of electric and super saturated colors, and trying to mimic, a sense of light using different tones.
I see. I think that there is. I would say there is two schools or two trends when it comes to drawing. Let's say, but I consider myself drawing. But I'm drawing with shapes, and some people will, draw first, like with lines, and then fill in the color, and then add some layers on top. It really depends on people. But I have this impression that when you work with shapes, it's way quicker. It's like when, for example, if you do 3D, you probably have like. You block things first, like you're not building eyelashes or the mouth first. You make the round head, and then the neck, and then the bust or the shoulders. And when everything is a bit defined, like whether it's a small tiny girl or whether it's like a huge barbarian warrior or something, and then you can start scratching things like to make it more significant.
Yeah, that's cool, because in my normal work, I had to design the mascot of the institution. It was really fun. I think I did a good job with it, and it's like a big animal, but I did it with lines. For me, it's like sensing the flow of the lines, the shapes.
Okay.
And after that, I start to do the color because maybe I'm not so
confident.
I'm not so confident with it. So I need the lines first because I love it, and then I'm like trying to experiment with different kind of colors. I mean, I love that contrast between the blue and the
red dress.
And
but the thing is,
the skin, brown.
The highlights. I think it's quite similar actually, whether you work with lines or shapes. I think that the difference, the only thing is you're building the skeleton, whether it's from the outside or the inside when you're drawing. And the line would be the outside, like you're building the skin or drawing the skin. And when I'm working with shapes or masses like that, I think like I'm building the skeleton from the inside and then slowly growing the silhouette out of that part. But it's a bit similar. It's you actually have to try like sometimes with the shapes, so you will see that it's not so different. And I should try a bit sometimes. You will see it in my work sometimes. I'm going back to lines because I feel like okay, maybe lines are also like adding an accent or something more acute. And then you can because everything is like blocks. When you add a line, all of a sudden this line becomes, for example, like this flower here. Like everything is blocky. And at the end, I thought, well, she has the hand like that, like holding hands, but she could hold a flower because actually that dress was inspired by a flower. It's Alexander McQueen thing. You can see the hashtags. He was offering during the lockdown some kind of creativity exercise for people to get inspired by his work. And the point was to take pictures from the dress he was making and then painting something inspired from it. And at the end, because I drew the dress, at the end, because it was inspired by a flower, I thought I will add this little, I think it's called a daisy in English. It's marguerite in French.
Margarita, you can say it in Spanish, bro.
It's the same in Spanish, the name?
It's Margarita.
This flower?
Yeah.
Margarita, yeah. Okay, so there you go.
Here we have Shushu that says, I am Jesus. Jesus from the Trojan horse was a unicorn.
Oh, hey Jesus.
I guess so.
I remember you in every video from THU.
Yeah, I mean I didn't go to Trojan horse. Yeah, to the Trojan horse 2018, but I saw you in different videos.
Cool to meet you here. Thanks for joining in. It's cool to have you guys around. I was feeling like I'm going to be alone with Andrés talking to each other.
It would be okay.
But it's cool that let's try it.
It's been a while, right? That we don't talk about art.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I miss that thing from THU. Being able to see it with people that just understand what we are going through, what we think about, and this is something I miss very much from the tribe and from Troya. Not Troya, but not only Troya, but Malta now. So.
That's the important thing about attending to different art events, and that's why I want to create with this Crad Art Fest. Maybe here in Colombia we don't have this kind of community, so the idea is not only Colombia but also Latin America to start like gathering and to start,
it's
growing
important.
a community. Yeah.
I mean, I'm so lucky that THU is in Europe. When I'm seeing people that are crossing the globe to go there, it's like, wow. I mean, first you have to have money. If you have, that's cool. But I couldn't go to, I don't know, back then in 2015 when I went to THU for the first time. I had money, but I was counting money. You're not traveling like in America just for that, or like some people do. But I'm a freelancer, and sometimes it's a bit hard. So you have to save money to go somewhere. And THU being in Europe was just perfect for me. Like Portugal is very easy to reach from here. There is a direct line from Strasbourg to Porto.
Yeah.
And then the train to Troya, like it was very easy. Malta was a bit more expensive, but very nice. I'm very curious to know where this is gonna go in the next few years.
Yeah, that's crazy. The first, I don't know if you went to the Trojan Horse Unicorn 2014. It was
No,
my
I was
first
in 15.
experience there, and
Okay.
damn it, I had to cross. It wasn't the first time I got out like alone for a trip.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had, I was in Miami for 5 hours, so it was like my first time in Miami. Yeah, first time in Europe, first time everything, you know.
Yeah, all alone and
And it is not easy. I had to. I mean, I had to save a lot of money to go there. I had to ask for my university to help me with some part of it.
Sure.
Thankfully, they did.
Sure.
So if there is someone of the Universidad Militar Nueva Granada here in Colombia, thank you very much for that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do to create here in Colombia. We don't have the chance.
I was about to say there is different ways. If people really want to go somewhere, they will find ways. If you want to enter the industry, you will save money. You will find trainings wherever you need. But also, if you have it in your own country, like for example in Colombia with Crad, I think it's a great thing. You know that you can bring people there and bring this knowledge around, or whether it's your school where you work or around the people you're hanging out with. You know, it's like not everyone can afford to go somewhere but meeting people in real life in the same room is very different from meeting like over Skype, for example, and when you spend like 3, 4, 5 days with them, like you build connections, you build friendships, and it's a very nice thing that you do it there. I hope it will be as famous and successful as THU.
Man, thank you very much, man. That's like the idea. Well, later let's talk about it later, because maybe you can come here to the Crad Art Fest as a speaker. Let's see.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows where I'm going to?
Would you like to show us some of your work, like a demo?
You mean live? Okay. Well, let me open.
I would like to do an exercise, maybe with all of you guys that are connected. First of all, I want to. Okay, chicos, ¿cómo van con el inglés? ¿Hasta ahí bien? ¿Dudas? Si tienen preguntas, no duden en hacerlas para hacerle a Julien. Okay, thank you very much. Who's there? Nuno! Hey, Nuno!
Hey, Nuno!
How are you, bro? Hey.
Yes. Drive is here.
Drive is every single Sunday at 9 a.m. in Colombia. Reunited to talk about art.
Yeah, we'll do it.
It says, Nuno, I want to say hi to the two of my favorite people from Trojan Horse.
Hi, thanks.
Thank you very much, man. You rock, bro.
Thank you. Thanks, Nuno.
Okay, Santiago, pinche COVID, pero vendrán cosas mejores. Yes. Okay, I don't know. Who of you people... yeah, talking in English. ¿Quién de ustedes está en Colombia o en Sudamérica? Que nos cuenten. And, yeah. Queremos hacer el evento de arte en Colombia, ¿cierto? El evento de arte para traer grandes artistas y la idea es que podamos reunir muchas personas y crear esta comunidad acá. Lastimosamente pasó lo del COVID, pero la buena noticia es que el evento se va a realizar en línea. ¿Okay? Este evento se va a organizar sí o sí. ¿Listo? Entonces en línea vamos a tener grandes conferencistas, la agenda está increíble. Tenemos gente de Riot Games, de DreamWorks, tenemos gente de Art Heroes, de ZBrush Guides, trabajaron en La Noria, animación 2D, animación 3D, increíble. Entonces, muy pendientes porque esta semana esta semana es vital. Todos súper conectados en Instagram. Síganos en Instagram porque ahí vienen cosas increíbles. Bueno, okay. So the exercise that I want to do is give us a picture to all of us, or show us the picture that you're going to like kind of create, and we try to do it with our style.
Okay.
So we can see the difference. I can try it here in Photoshop, and we can see like the difference between your heavy
you
paint.
and me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. So improvisation for the picture.
Improvisation to all of us. Yeah. The idea is just to understand some stuff. So I have to switch something now.
I think you see my screen.
I will have to draw in another screen.
Yeah.
Like twisted.
We can switch back to your screen after I start, or in a few minutes if you want.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I have to draw in a different screen, but yeah, it's fine.
So, well, for guys that are not used to heavy paint, I mean, that's the tool I use the most right now. It's very simple. It's made by Julien that worked on the Spider-Verse. He was doing 3D there in concept art, I think, and he worked on the Witness, the Netflix episode with Alberto Mielgo, Julien,
that's amazing.
All these crazily insane, talented people. And so he made this thing all by himself, like doing some coding and stuff. And like you will see that the tools are very simple. So I make you a quick demo, and then I will start painting. So you have the rectangle tool. If you type twice, you have the round tool, the line that you can have like more or less large or thick. This is the mixer tool. So if you do this, you can mix colors. And then you have this is like kind of a lasso tool. So you can draw directly the shape you want. This slider here is to change the saturation. Let me just this back. To change the saturation, so I have a pure color here, and if I increase that thing, the color becomes very, very hectic when it comes to saturation. You have like very different colors, and you can do very like psychedelic stuff. So it can be really funny. Let's put this stuff like that. And usually when I start painting, I'm allowing myself to, I don't know, go in every direction. There is no rules, no one is judging, and it's May sketch a day right now. So that the point is to, lose the judgment and try stuff. And so here, for example, you have the simple tools like, for example, drawing. But I'll just put like a darker color. You have a drawing tool, so you can make lines. You have a rake tool. You can make it larger, etc. So you can like shade things with those stuff. The brow. This is very nice to make, like soft shades or clouds or this kind of stuff. Circle, but if you have colors, you will see it better. Simple circle, etc. And so when I'm having something like that, so I'm having a picture on my desktop here, so I will use it as a reference. I can share it with you later, but so it's actually a picture with a woman, and the tones are quite bluish for her face. So I will use this tool, the fill lasso tool, which is a new one that Vaughan developed. If it can stick, there you go. There you go. And so with this, I will just define more or less the shape of my actually character. So here will be the head.
That's great, super fast.
Super fast. That is what makes it different for me when you have to paint with Photoshop. You prepare things and it's very slow and stuff, and here you're just dropping color and boom, it's there. And so I've not talked about the color palette or sliders, but it's like the RGB thing. So if you go to the left, you will have dark colors. Oh, sorry, you will have dark colors, and if you go to the right, you will have white colors or color. So the thing is to find, whether you want more or less red, more or less green, and more or less blue. I'm not selling the software because it's free. And the thing is, you can actually, if you're not comfortable with this, you can change it to hue saturation, like in Photoshop or other tools, or you can have the hue box here, so you can select directly your color with the darkness and paint directly. But I'm used to the RGB thing, so I'll stick to it.
We have another question here.
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's similar to what I asked before, but it says, okay, each day the images compete between each other to cap our attention. Here is with our personal interest, are like showcasing. What interests or elements of your life move you when you create your illustrations?
That is a tough question.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually thinking about it all the time without having like a proper answer. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like simple life situation, like simple everyday um, things. There is no need for things to be grand or epic all the time. And sometimes when I'm drawing this, for example, I don't know. Let me just go back to my Instagram. Um, like in the last few pictures, like there was this one, for example, the mother with the baby. This kind of stuff here, for example. I started to draw a woman. It's a subject that I like to draw, and at some point, I'm also questioning myself whether this becomes a bit too sexist or becomes too machist. And so I'm trying to get out of the pin-up kind of style, or the just cute girls. It doesn't say as much, and so I'm trying to have my pictures explain or say something. And so, for example, this one I just started to paint the woman, and like I started from with the picture from the day before. Here is just like warming up, and here I start to have the shape, like exactly like I work now with heavy paint. And with this shape, I had in mind that I wanted to have this baby, like being, finding peace is the title. That baby being like comforted by his mother, and these are very simple stuff, but I'm sometimes thinking about, like these are kind of stuff that we can all relate to. And at some point, maybe you will become parents. I'm not yet, but these are like, I'm having this moment in my life when I'm thinking about, someday having kids. And these are the kind of stuff that I like to paint. Like I'm sharing this one because I have it right here. I'm part of the hardcover book. This is a bit of a dirty picture. That's a bit of a dirty picture, but I'm very happy to be in it. And there is so much talent in that book. So actually the crowdfunding is still on. And if you go to the top of my page, you have the link to the crowdfunding page, the Kickstarter page.
Actually,
I can tell you I've seen.
Sorry. Keep going. I just wanted to say that I wanted to do a post of Kickstarter in Crad sessions, so a lot of people can know what hardcover is and they can fund it as well.
It's super good. I mean, it's like kind of porn pictures or adult pictures, but at the same time, it's not just for free, like people naked and having sex. It's like it's more than that, and you have really artists that are working to make pictures and to make them interesting. Otherwise you just go to YouPorn or whatever. There is no need to buy a book for that. But those pictures are very beautiful, and yeah, I'm very happy to be part of it. So sometimes I have pictures where I'm trying to have a meaning, or deeper meaning, and sometimes I'm just trying to have fun while painting. And when I'm having, like for example, the picture I'm painting now, I think it will go in a more fun direction, like without having to think too much about what this picture is going to say, or what is it conveying, or this kind of stuff. It's sometimes making pictures can just be for fun, and you will try to find a way to have excitement when you're creating. Not everything has to be political or deep.
That's
I like to have this sometimes simplicity.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was thinking about how long would it take to do that shape in lines.
Yeah, that if you want to feel that canvas just with lines,
Yeah.
It's going to take forever. But the thing is, at some point, I'm going to cover all this stuff, like the background, for example. It started like as a vibrating thing, but there is no need to keep so much vibration. You know, at some point it will just become like, I don't know, noise in the back. So I'm slowly, you know, carving things. I just to remind you, I have this reference just on my desktop computer. So I'm looking at that thing, and I'm like, if I had a model next to me, I'm just trying to.
That's amazing, bro.
To build it, you know.
Sometimes I'm too concerned about like doing it perfectly, like thinking about planes and shapes and cranium and it's cool, sorry, and muscles and sometimes I'm not like so free to do shapes like you're doing now, and that's crazy because that's super great, super cool.
Yeah, it's just fun, you know. You're putting it, it's there, and if you don't like it anymore, well, you just change color, boom, and then you have your highlights. There you go. And little by little, your thing is taking shape. Here, the jaw is a bit too large. There you go.
Great, man.
And when you spend 2 hours like this, at some point, your picture starts to look like something. It's a bit messy. I'm really not thinking like, yeah. Already?
Already it looks like something. Nicolas Marin says, I love your work. It's like no rules. Just capture what you have in mind and put it in an illustration. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Un saludo para Nicolas Marin.
Thank you very much.
And all of you guys, thank you very much for joining us. So Javier, okay, I already asked what Javier says. Guys, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying this demo of Julien? It's amazing.
Thank you. I'm really still not sure where this is going. You know? I'm just trying. But sometimes, you know, and you feel like, okay, well, I think I will have to cover a bit the background because it's a bit too annoying. There is too much things happening there. So I will just, there you go. Sometimes I'll catch something here.
I'm inspired. I'm going to draw something here as well, but with lines.
I'll see it after, yeah.
I love lines.
And so here, for example, I think it's missing some like accents, like that I was saying before about the lines, you know. So here I can take the line tool, the drawing tool, and this can help me to, you know, define stuff like so. It's like a sketchbook. You're making things, you're making choices at the same time, and when something is like not perfect, you scratch on top. Here is the nose. And so with faces, it's just like, it's an architecture. So you have to think about where the stuff are happening, where the nose is. There is this crease in the bottom here. And the shadow is here, like so. There you go. Now I can just feel stuff. Here she has the eyes.
It's crazy.
And it's really like cooking, you know, when sometimes you have fun like playing with you know, whatever you're cooking, like the dough or the like preparing a pizza or something. When you have this feeling of, you know, playing or like melting stuff, mixing stuff, heavy paint has this exact effect on me. You know, I'm putting colors down and I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. You know, I don't have a motorcycle, but I guess riding a motorcycle is that way a bit.
Yeah, you're like
there you go.
free to go wherever you want to go.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly. And so you see, from the thing that I had before that was really, really messy, I'm carving things little by little. There is no rush. Getting back the color here, there is no rush, and we can spend if you have time, you can spend 3 hours doing things like that. You know, like I'm doing it quicker, but little by little, you see that she has this ethnicity. She's probably from Africa, or you know, like black from America. I don't know. and yeah, there you go. You have that thing that appears little by little. And I like to be, not sure of where I'm going. Sometimes here I'm live, so I don't have the choice. But sometimes I'm painting and I'm just throwing what I've done because I'm not happy. I'm not posting everything online. But the point is not to judge yourself. These are experiments, and these experiments are helping you to grow and to find yourself. Sometimes you don't know where you're going.
I think that answers a bit Santiago. He asks, can you give us some tips to improve our life drawing?
I think the best tip I had when I was a student, it was not concerning life drawing, but it's drawing in general. The teacher told us we have to draw what is in front of us, not to imagine it, but to draw it, like to really analyze and cut the imagination part, because sometimes when you draw a hand, you're thinking, okay, I know how the hand works. It's like that. You have 5 fingers. It's going that way, boom, 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 and then you have your hand. But actually, if you look at a hand, it's way more complex. Whether it's a hand or a face or anything, it's way more complex that we accept it. And the thing is to be humble enough to accept that we don't know everything by heart. We don't know everything like without having a reference. And if you have a real life reference or a picture in front of you, the point of having that thing in front of you is to use it. So to really look at it and to think, okay, where is, like, for example, like if I drew with the line tool on, like, are these eyes very horizontal here? Or actually they're a bit, the head is a bit like going on the left.
Yeah.
She's tilted on the back. These are details that makes your drawing or skills better, because you actually build your eyes to measure things. And this you do it little by little. You don't have to rush things. You have to accept to make mistakes. You have to accept to do shitty work sometimes. It's only increasing. The point is to stick to it. And I think that's something I've learned when I was working with my own stuff. If I'm painting, even when I'm painting something like that, if I was done at 5 minutes, if I stopped 5 minutes after the beginning, I would probably drop the picture and say, "Oh, this is shitty. I don't keep it." But when you stick to it, your mind is pushing and thinking, "Okay, what is missing? This is good, but this is not." And then you're analyzing like a computer. The eyes are good, the nose is okay, this is missing here. I think the mouth is a bit too low, and so then you take things and you start, like, to make them just more accurate, little by little. So the mouth was a bit too large. The mouth, sorry. It's a bit better now. So the point is to really look at the things you're doing or drawing, and accept to be wrong, and then to fix things. Sometimes if you look at the pictures on my Instagram, sometimes you will see that I'm drawing, like on the time lapses. I'm drawing something, and then at the end you will see me drawing or painting on top of the eye, because the eye was here and it should be here, for example, or this kind of stuff. And so the point is sometimes to accept that even if you've spent 5 hours doing something, you can still share it. It's very important to share your work, to have feedbacks, to have people telling you how you can improve it or not, if you want to improve. But also it's very important to accept that you can restart tomorrow morning, and your life doesn't depend on one drawing. So it actually makes things very easy, or much easier, when you lose that stress of making a shitty work, or if you don't put too much stress on, then pressure, then you just become more relaxed, and you're able to analyze things, and not just to think, well, I've spent 5 hours, so it has to be good.
Yeah, that's super important for all of you guys, because sometimes we feel super stressed because our drawing is not the best, it's not perfect, it's not so accurate, and we get married with that drawing, so we have to finish it like if it is like the best drawing in the world. and we push and push and push and push and push, and you know, sometimes we get stressed and we can do it. So it's important to let it go, you know, and then start.
Exactly.
I remember a lot a talk we had with Jerry Mann, and he was like, if you don't like one drawing, throw it, and start again.
Yeah, your life doesn't depend on that thing, you know. If you have a client, then it's, you know, they don't know if you spent the whole day or the whole week making the picture. They will just see the results, and you have to be, you know, super. You have to exigete. You have to ask yourself to be, or to put yourself the pressure to decide whether this picture is worthy of being paid for it or not. And if you know that it's not good enough, usually you don't want your clients to pay for it. You want them to pay for something top. So that level of judgment, you put it on yourself. The client will sometimes be able to say this is good or not, but you need to do it first. You don't need them to tell you this is not good. You need to be able to find it yourself, and you know, being able to judge yourself and decide this is not good. It's part of being like a professional at some point, because it helps you increase or improve.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm drawing here, but I don't have pressure because I don't know, because of the system.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing card or heavy paint in my canvas of Photoshop.
Well, I'm curious to see it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go fast here, so we can switch screens if you want.
No, come on. Give me some time.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I have an idea in my head.
Okay.
Let's see if I can make it work. Okay, we can, whenever you want, we can do it. Why not? As you said, we don't have to have like the best piece to show, just show our work. Oh, pressure came back.
There is pressure, boom.
There is pressure again, so whenever you want, we can switch it. It's fine.
Well, I'm almost done. Well, I'm seeing a question from Gabriel. Hey, Gabriel. This is my man from Brazil. He's good.
Gabriel, hello, man. Nice to meet you.
He's super good. You can check his Instagram, guys.
Let's go. Everyone go to Gabriel Dos Anjos. How do you pronounce that? Dos Anjos.
Dos Anjos, no?
Dos Anjos de Graça.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not Spanish. True.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know Portuguese. I just learned to say bom dia, boa tarde.
Yeah. Tudo bem.
Tudo bem. Obrigado.
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 Yeah. I'm a late tourist. I'm doing English everywhere.
Me too. Well, I tried speaking French when I was in. I went one day in Paris. I was one day in Paris and 2 days in Belgium. So I tried to ask for pain au chocolat or chocolatine.
Yeah, it's pain au chocolat. Chocolatine, they don't understand it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. The accent is perfect.
Oh, merci beaucoup.
Yeah. You're fluent.
I wish. Damn it.
So yeah,
no pressure.
Gabriel. So no pressure.
No pressure again.
No pressure. Gabriel was asking if I think we can do professional work with heavy paint. I think you can. I have not tried yet, but I think you can. Because now you have this ability to export. When you save your picture here, the S, you have the ability to export the image. Let's say yes. Well, I'm not going to save it now, but you can increase the definition of the picture, so it can be huge actually. And the thing is, with professional work, sometimes you can need layers because you want to change something, and I mean, it really depends on what you're doing. If it's like color keys or like quick sketches, you can use heavy paint, and you can also use the exported picture from heavy paint, put it back in Photoshop and cut things out, and add, I don't know, whatever filters on top, or you can play around. So I think it's a tool that you can use either like that, exporting the finished picture, or use it as a base to if you want to add text on top of something, for example, you will have to send it to Illustrator or InDesign or whatever other software you use. But I think it's solid enough, and I actually never had a crash with the tool, with the soft. It's super reliable. That thing is like, I don't know, I had more Photoshop crashes than heavy paint. Of course, I'm using Photoshop for almost 20 years, but yeah, that little piece of software is amazing. Like, it really did something great. And yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm seeing recently. I've seen, I forgot his name, a French concept artist. I cannot remember now, but they start to use it, and they make like crazy stuff on Twitter. And it's cool to see those big names starting to use it. I would love to see. I mean, I'm talking like it's mine, but I would love to see what they are able to do with it. Like, for example, Mielgo or Yunling or.
Have you seen Quill?
I've never tried. I would love to try, but I don't have an Oculus yet.
Yeah, me neither.
But what I've seen in like with Goro Fujita in Malta, I was like, enough. I need to try. There is no need for more. And give me your Oculus.
See, if Goro doesn't find his Oculus, he can ask. He can ask me if I have it.
Sure.
But
I'm going to try something.
I saw a short film that created Dan.
Was it the Spider-Verse cover?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen.
With Quill, I mean, it's a super powerful tool as well.
Yeah. You can do anything with that thing. It's like, wow. I still don't know how much time you need to be able to, make these kind of pictures. Like, the thing is, you can turn your camera around. And actually, there is some other tools. There is one that is called Anime VR, and people are able to, like really use timelines and stuff. Like, for example, probably in Quill you can too. But I've seen some examples like of a guy that's like sculpted something in VR, like 3D element, like a character. Yeah. And right after putting it like in, I don't remember what other software with bones and stuff, and then he was able to animate that thing. And like it's the same with what Goro is doing, Goro Fujita. You see results that usually you could have spent weeks doing something like a quick animation, 30 seconds animation. Okay, let's do this. It would have cost 5,000-6,000 euros. And now in 30 minutes or 2 hours or 3 hours, like in a day, you can do stuff that could have been done in over a month before.
Yeah.
Probably the quality is not as accurate or fine as real like 3D package. It's not like out of ZBrush or out of Maya or something. But I think it's a good base. You can take the objects that you sculpted and probably reshape or doing the retopology or something, and then use it like normal assets, I guess.
I think
there is a future.
Yeah. I think there's a future
for that. Yeah.
And the quality is quite good as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really impressive.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
It's just sad that Facebook owns it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Goro works for Facebook.
Yeah, but I'm not going to criticize. Like, I mean, this is company stuff. This is business. But they bought a nice team when they offered themselves the Oculus Studio or guys.
Yeah, let's see if we have another question. Hello. It says Gabriel Dos Los Angeles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Gabriel, for not pronouncing well your name.
Bom dia, Gabriel.
Bom dia. Chicos, ¿cómo van todos por ahí en el live? ¿Cómo van? ¿Más preguntas para Julien? More questions for him?
Shoot it.
Go for
I'm
it.
here.
Yeah. I will keep drawing this guy. I'm so slow in comparison with you, man.
Yeah. Well, if you try heavy paint, you will see what I'm talking about. This stuff,
Yeah.
the way I remember reading somewhere, I don't remember the words exactly, but the way you put colors down is so fucking efficient, like super fast. Like you basically you populate your canvas, you invade your canvas in a matter of seconds. And now I'm just adding some shades or some details to make or to sculpt the face a bit. But the whole stuff was there in over 3 minutes maximum, I think. So this is very well done, this tool.
What I think is that you can do it if you understand the face. You understand.
Yeah, true.
The structure of the face.
Yeah, it's true.
Head planes. Where are the shadows, where are the highlights, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But for example, this face, I mean, you don't have the reference under your eyes, but when you build the face, it's very, let's say, simple. Yeah, the face is like, let me just find.
Yeah, I'm not using a reference, I'm just from imagination, but I guess we have done a lot of faces in our lives that we know how to draw a face, kind of.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, it's very easy. It's like symmetrical, but basically you just have to think about the shape here. Like that thing is going that way, There is the cheekbones that are doing that thing here. So then here it's a flat. So if you're doing 3D, for example, here it's like going up, flat, going down, And when you do this stuff in your mind, when you're painting or drawing, it makes things much easier to, like, it's easy with a reference, but when you have a model in front of you, you don't have the reference. You have to see where this line is going, or whether the line is here or more down, and these are very simple details that makes your face solid, like strong.
Yeah, that zygomatic bone is amazing.
Yeah. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. That is why I'm drawing in the street regularly, because then you don't need to think when you have to draw the face. I'm still making mistakes when I'm drawing a silhouette or a character without reference, but still I'm able to do very quick characters, and I don't need to go using poser or whatever, fake 3D skeletons.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have them in mind already.
And it's better because you can use the shape that you want. It's not just using a predefined shape.
Yeah, exactly.
You go however you want.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not sure what you guys think about this one. I think there is still too much activity around here. So usually I will just, put some big shapes, so it's like making it a bit more easy on the eye, like the eyes can rest a bit. That is also something that it took me a while to understand, that sometimes when you do a picture, the eyes, they need some rest somewhere. If everything is like bumpy and shaking and vibrating and stuff, it becomes hard to look at. To read it, yeah. And when you give the eyes some space, some places where it's more simple, more gentle, it's like when you're making sport, sometimes you can run a marathon, but at some point you need to slow down and rest and breathe back. And I think the background, like you had here, for example, this part on the right, this part here, it was like that everywhere before, and so it became a bit too much, like the picture was vibrating. And I think I'm going to let it here, because it's, like that is the way I work. Like I build or I carve the character, and sometimes I like to leave stuff like unsolved or unfinished. So yeah, like
It's great,
this
man.
this
Love
pattern here is going to stay for sure. And even sometimes when you this kind of little details, the arrow that I just drew, I think it's gonna stay on the picture. It's like it's an icon in a way. It's like a visual sign. And these are stuff that I accept, to do. And like we are improvising, we are talking together, and this stuff are going to stay because it's part of the exercise that we impose ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And the
Of
experience
course.
we had. Maybe when we
And
look back to it, we say like, oh man, I remember that
yeah,
we were
yeah,
talking about.
exactly. That is the fun part. And so when someone that wasn't in the room or like online is going to look at the picture, they will think, what is that arrow meaning, and it drags the attention somewhere, and it builds activity or like that it's writing itself,
Well, what does he want to say to us?
yeah,
What's the story
what is
behind?
this line, what is the outline meaning,
That's a cool
do
part
we
of
have an outline?
that's a cool part about art, you know.
Yeah,
We all, just the author knows what they want to do.
yeah, exactly.
All of them are just guessing.
Yeah, and probably a lot of people are guessing wrong, when it comes to art history and stuff. I mean, for sure there is traces, there is people writing, or like people able to say, well, Picasso meant
Yeah.
this or that. But sometimes I feel like people are interpreting things and they don't even really know, it's just their own interpretation. But because they have the background and stuff, they will be able to leave marks and to say, okay, Picasso was this kind of artist. But who knows, we just have the perception of some people, not from Picasso himself. I like these things sometimes to rethink about any artists, what is the legend they decided to write themselves, and what is the legend the world wrote for themselves. Like I'm sure Picasso was an asshole, for example, but no one says that. I'm sure he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like his work as well. I mean,
Mm.
I like his work, but I'm not so fan of it.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, it's for sure a major figure of art history. It's like a big name, and it made stuff that, it's like paved the way for us to watch pictures today and to think, okay, I'm going to simplify. Like we are simplifying now because
Yeah.
back then these people were able to do it, and it's in our mind. We don't have to think about it. So yeah, these are our grandparents in a way, but I'm not into the hype. I like to watch the work of people before knowing about their fame or anyway. So I'm contradicting myself about Picasso being an asshole, but it's better we don't know that he was an asshole actually.
Yeah, just like this last challenge, show art just for the sake of art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could you consider doing a Patreon? It says Hassan. These uncertain times, it's like everyone is sharing knowledge on brushes and etc. So also making money, log.
That's a good question. I've looked at it when it started, Patreon, or back then, but I think I was having a problem because of I'm living in France, and I think it was not allowed for French people back then, or like it was about taxis or anything. But yeah, the thing is, I'm a bit messy, and I'm very bad at putting stuff together. I'm good, let's say, making pictures, but selling those pictures is a harder part for me. And I think to have a Patreon, I should spend a bit more time selling myself, or how do you call that? There's a
Like
word
doing
for
social
that.
media and sharing your
Yes,
work
yeah,
and
yeah, this kind of stuff.
promoting your stuff.
Exactly, promoting. Yeah, yeah, I could do it actually, but I'm afraid that it could take more time to promote that thing than to make the art. But still, if you can make a living out of it, why not?
Actually, I have been thinking about it
Hmm.
sometimes because I want to create like an art book by myself,
Yeah. Okay.
and right now I don't have the time. So as soon as I decide to quit my job or something, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I want to do it. Maybe some people are interested, you know,
Yeah, that
in
would be
it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, Hassan.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of artists are doing it.
yeah,
As he says, like these are weird times, and
yeah. I mean, you have to have a safety net. We don't know. I mean, by now I was lucky enough to have clients, and I was able to live because of the graphic design or motion design. But it tends to become a bit boring for me. It's been a while that it's boring actually, but it's feeding me. So I was fine closing my eyes and continuing. But it's been a while that I'm thinking about changing a bit the career angle, the career path, and having something a bit more fun. And I'm even thinking about doing something like mentorship, or I'm not sure yet. These are stuff I'm thinking about, but it's not clear yet in my mind.
that's a great idea, man.
But we need for sure different ways of finding money. Like this is very important for students to diversify or to find niches or the places where your work is going to be worth of interest. And this is something I'm thinking about for a while. Like I've heard somewhere like a saying. I don't remember the words exactly, but it's like something that says like you're not going to sell very expensive shoes in the third world poor neighborhoods. You need to find your audience and your clients to be able to sell those expensive shoes. And I think it's the same a bit with art. Like you can be a super good artist, but if you work with people that are not able to see that you're a good artist, you're going to undervalue your work. You're going to drown. You're going to lose confidence, and this is like something you have to be like careful about and spend time thinking or building. It's like to find where your work fits, who is going to pay for it, how much does it will, how much you can sell it, and these are stuff that takes time. It took me a while, and I'm still kind of not sure about all this stuff. But the sooner you think about this stuff, the better. Even if you're making concept art, design, graphic design, anything. It's fine to do it on your own, on yourself, to build experience, but it's probably better to be able to sell it somewhere because it will help you continue doing this thing. So don't wait the end of school, for example, to start thinking about it. It's very important to have like in mind maybe the fields that you want to work in, maybe how much this costs, how much do you want to earn per day or per hour, or this kind of stuff. These are details, but I didn't have this in school, and I spent a while understanding the value of my time and accepting that, okay, if I'm asking 500 euros for something, it's not much, it's just fair.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Sometimes
Yeah,
some friends ask me, how much would you
sell
charge
this
for
or
this?
pay.
Yeah. Would you
Yeah,
charge for this? And I'm like, damn it, he's my friend, so I don't know.
yeah.
And I give a price, and I think it's fine, but sometimes it sounds like too much. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
to.
yeah. I don't want to kill you, but I'm
But pay me.
exactly. Yeah, it's very hard. Moreover, with friends, I think my worst experiences when it comes to work were with friends. Because I started as a graphic designer, I was doing websites back then. I built my own website, and I was developing, making WordPress stuff. I was making templates myself, the back office and stuff. And I used to work for a friend that was having a company, like a clothing company, t-shirts, for inline skating. And I used to do inline skate when I was a teenager, and so we stayed friends. And because I became a graphic designer, he was asking me, okay, can you do the logo? Can you do the website? And I was fine, because I was thinking, well, cool, it's going to be visible. It's going to bring me clients, visibility, you know, this kind of stuff that clients bring when they want you to lower your salary or your expectations.
Yeah, well, at the beginning, it kind of is the same, you know?
Yeah. And little by little, I mean, I've worked, I don't know how many hours on websites and stuff, and at the end it just went down, because he was hoping that I could work more, not more money, but he wanted me to spend more time on stuff, and it was starting to be like a boss to me, like asking me, oh, you need to deliver this and that, and I was thinking, whoa, hey, you're not paying me, you know, to have an extra, you know, to have my whole lifetime. So I was doing the work when I had time in between clients' work. And this is something you have to be careful when you work with friends. It's to have contracts, limits, to decide what they are paying, and how do you want this collaboration to work, because it can ruin friendship.
Did it ruin it?
Not really. Like we
almost.
No, I mean I was a bit bitter. Like we had a conversation. I mean, I had a bad experience once with a client, and that very same day, that friend came and say, "Hey, you're not serious. You need to send me whatever." And this was not the good day for me to have this conversation with him. So I told him, you know what? You're a friend, but if you want me to make a bill to charge you like I'm charging clients, I don't have any objection. But it's not 500 euro, it's 5,000 then.
Okay.
And then he was a bit more calm, and he was accepting that maybe he was overpassing or trespassing the limits. You know, he was a bit pushy, yeah.
Because he didn't have the $5,000.
Yeah, for sure he didn't have them at the time. And yeah, when you're dealing with friends, you know, you're trying to be supportive, you're trying to help them, you know, grow. And if this friend is having an emergency in work or like a rough time or something, you don't push that friend down. You help that friend stay, you know, or you know, go through the hard times. And when you work with people, they have expectations. He had his company, so I understand that he was expecting me to, you know, I don't know, like deliver stuff, but the way he was asking it was not connected to the way he was paying for it.
Exactly.
So the priority was the paying clients, not the friends. This is why having a contract or discussing things very clearly makes things easier, because then they know they cannot ask you to be super fast when you don't have time because you're working on something else that pays your bills. These are details that when you collaborate with friends, it's better to have this clear, so they understand that when you say no, it's because you have something cooking aside, and it's not because you don't want to do things, but it's because, you know, if you want to survive and make those things for your friends, then first you need to be able to pay your bills.
Yeah, exactly. It's your time. There's another question. It's your time, you know? Nicolas is asking, sure. I mean, can you give us some tip for improving as an animator?
I think it would be the same. I mean, I'm not the greatest animator. I'm doing animation, and I'm putting things together in a not so bad way. I'm not as good as a Pixar animator, for example, but I would say it's the same as drawing. Like, you have to have references, you have to watch things, you have to, whether it's film or you film it yourself. I think if you want to be good in animation, you have to be able to read people movements and to notice like slight change in movements, differences and stuff. For example, when I'm drawing in the street, it became natural for me to notice when someone is having a back pain or pain in the leg somewhere, or these are like simple stuff. But when you have this accuracy, when you look at things in a very precise way, you understand whether this person is having a problem in the ankle or the knee or the bone, the collarbone, you know. These are this kind of accuracy, you know, because if your character is having pain in the collarbone or in the knee, he is not going to walk the same way as if he has pain in the toe, you know. And these are subtle changes, like very subtle differences that I think makes people connect with the acting part, with the character acting on screen. So my guess or my advice would be to really look at things, gather references. If you animate something or if you cannot find reference, film it yourself, and then it's about you being able to judge whether your animation is as good as what you have as a reference. And you don't have to copy the reference, you don't have to exactly copy it, but you have to have these key moments. You know, if you grab a bottle on the table, you have that hand open, contact with the bottle, holding the bottle, pushing out or pushing up the weight from the bottle. All these tiny details, these are stuff you build while doing it, and the more you do it, the more you become, good at your skill or good in your craft. Hope I answered your question.
I think that's a great advice, man.
Thank you.
Because it's not about technical stuff, but about, you know, understanding how people move, how people react, how people, you know, like understanding life.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Gabriel joins us. Hello, Gabriel, my friend.
Hello.
Just
hello.
Do it, bro. Good friend.
Hey, there is my sister saying, hey.
Who's your sister?
You're good. Elodie Schleiffer here. It's like almost at the bottom.
Hey,
hello,
Elodie.
Sister.
Salut, Elodie. Ça va?
Salut, Elodie. Yeah, I've told my sisters and mother that I was online, so if they wanted to check.
That's amazing.
So thanks for cheering me up, sister.
Yeah.
Bisous. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to push that picture much longer, because then I'm just pushing pixels.
That's fine.
As some will say.
Let's share mine to see if you can.
I'll save it.
If you can check it a bit.
All right. Let me just turn off the screen sharing thing.
Yeah.
Stop broadcast.
I will share
it
to you, I guess. Are you saying it in the live? No, I'm going to share it to you.
I'm seeing your face right now. Yeah, I'm seeing it on the live. Yeah.
I will share my screen as well.
That's cool.
I don't know if I did it. Did I do it?
Yeah, it's visible.
I'm sharing yours. Mine.
You're sharing your Photoshop, I think.
Okay.
On the stream. Yeah, it's perfect.
So I don't have pressure because of the system. You know.
That's cool. Yeah.
But I'm trying to use just one layer. Trying to mimic what you're doing there, but it's hard.
Yeah. One layer. Yeah. I used to paint a lot with many layers, you know, and to be able to turn off layers is very helpful. And I'm changing my mindset or the way I work because of heavy paint. Like,
actually,
you know, Sorry, go.
No, actually, I love to work without layers, but of course, I would love to work with pressure.
Yeah.
Just heavy painting is kind of hard, you know.
Yeah. Well, try it, you will love it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the thing is, heavy paint is free, and it's available on desktop, Mac and PC, so Windows and Apple. It's available on Android. It's available on iPad, for free. So it's like And even Procreate is cheap, but heavy paint is like, wow, shockingly good. That is a good picture.
Oh, thank you very much, man. It's hard. I was like kind of inspired of your work, and I'm like, okay, let's try this out. Let's see if I can make something here. But for me, it's hard to mix a lot of tones.
Yeah.
No, so that's that.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing what you do there.
Thank you. Well, the thing is, when you start with those super saturated stuff, and then you try to narrow the palette, it's easier, I think, than to start with little colors and then add more colors. My work it's like swiping or cleaning the place, and I think it's easier that way when you have a lot of mess to try to remove the mess than to do the opposite, to create mess, because your mind or the brain doesn't want things to be messy. So it's hard. Like the thing is, it's like when you use this brush with the color jitter. You make one stroke and then there is like a lot of colors in that stroke. I think it's easier to proceed that way and then to remove some of the colors than to have one blue, for example, one color, and then to want this color to be more like rich, because then it means you have to add like mentally, like actively, those tiny details, and I think it's easier to remove than to add. And when it's there, you don't have to make such an effort to remove it.
Yeah, you're right. It's. I think it's a matter also of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And as you were saying before, like have risks and don't get married with your drawing. Just understand that it's a practice, it's an exercise, and if it doesn't go as well as you want, maybe you can try it in another.
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow, just let go, and sometimes the point is not to get too tightly attached to something, because then you build something that you don't need. Like, I mean, you need to like your pictures at some point because it helps you continue and get motivated or maintain motivation. If everything you do you feel like no, I'm not keeping it, then it's not good, because you're going to lose confidence in your work at some point. But I think it's important to also be able to accept that, well, this was not good, but I have plenty of time. For example, that lockdown was in a way a blessing, in some sort of a blessing, because I know some people have suffered from it, but I had time, and the happy part in that thing was that I didn't felt pressure anymore, stress anymore. I used to feel stress on a regular basis because I put myself that pressure, because you want to be productive, you want to be efficient. And during the lockdown, I was just feeling like, okay, well, I have all the time during the day, I'm going to paint. And if the paint is not good or the painting is not good, then you just throw it. And you have, we've been locked for 2 months in France. So you have plenty of time over 2 months to redo the picture, to start something else, to try again. And I think this is the political moment. But I think in that society, we are not allowed to have this time to make mistakes. People are judging way too quick, and we judge ourselves way too fast.
That's the worst part, yeah.
That is the sad part. Yeah, we should have, like as students or as professionals, the ability to make mistakes. And even as a professional, I'm maintaining it, because when you have in the envelope, in the budget, room for mistakes, it means you will have more time to try stuff. You will have more time to cancel or change stuff. And the problem is that probably everything is like so tight, with schedules, with like deliveries, with clients waiting. Everything is so tight that even the budgets are not extendable. So when a client comes and say, well, I have only 5,000 or 4,000 euros for this video, or 3,000, you know that you won't have much room to experiment. And that is the hard part in motion design, for example. You don't have much space to allow yourself to create. Usually people, they want something they have seen before, and that is the part I'm not, or my mind shuts down. You know, when things already exist and you have to repeat them, it's like, well, ask someone else.
Yeah, the thing is that we are not allowed to make mistakes. You know, in this society, it's really hard to do it, and as you said, we are not allowed to be more creative. And I think part of being creative is being allowed to make mistakes.
Exactly.
Because that's when you grow.
Absolutely.
Because I'm pretty sure that this is not like so good, but I will keep learning from this. So
yeah,
I think it's fine.
You mean your painting?
Yeah.
Well, it's part of making mistakes, if you want.
It's part of.
I think it was good, but that dark part in the back, we don't know if it's part of the guy or if it's a background.
It's part of the guy.
Okay, it's like it's a backpack.
Yeah, it's like
I see.
I will do something like here, like a corner or something like that. Okay, pressure came back.
There you go.
Yeah, so the idea is to make some, I don't know, like up here. Like I will get crazy and use a green here with a low value. Maybe the environment is not the best, the background color, but
dark. You can change it after.
well,
That's
the idea. That's like the idea of this shit. And as you said, I can start moving and moving and moving and moving and moving and.
There's the fireman passing by.
Maybe some blues here with.
I like that pink highlight on the face.
Thanks, man.
It's cool.
Well, I think I messed it up, but I think it was a really great exercise, man. I don't know what's going to be.
It's cool. It's cool.
Maybe something like this. I try to keep it super saturated all the time.
Yeah, that's much better with a bright background. Like it's popping up.
This one or the last one?
No, this one.
And then what I used to do is like, like doing a
Crop it.
better composition or something, and then I just maybe put some.
Like you frame it with the shades.
Yeah, kind of like that. Maybe I'll brighten it here to pop it more. And yeah.
That's cool.
That's it. I think that was a great exercise. I was
Yeah.
so inspired. So let's do something.
Thank you.
Whatever it is.
That's cool. Thank you. Thanks for inspiring me too.
Yeah. I will come back to you, so I will stop doing this. I don't know how to stop this. Okay, I don't know.
Okay. I see your face.
You see my face? I don't know if we can. Okay, I don't know if I can. Okay, I think it's fine. Let's see if we have another questions here.
There's questions.
If you want, you can share your screen so we can see your final work.
The painting?
Yeah, painting. Mine was like a
Share
exercise.
screen.
Gabriel Buitrago has a question for you. He says, is there any particular animation tool that you would recommend for playing with graphic work?
An animation tool. I'm using After Effects for animation, mostly. I've been trained with After Effects. It's very simple, easy to use. But also, recently I've started using or trying. I've never done anything with that, but there is something called Cavalry, 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 and that
How is it?
thing,
C-A?
Valry, Cavalry, like
Cavalry.
those people riding horses, cavalry, and exactly.
Okay.
And that thing, I've not really tried it, but the way they promote it, it's like, I mean, I'm not sure if it's free or not, but it's supposed to be good for graphic animation or motion design. And I've seen some results because you can use, I think, nodes to connect nodes and stuff. And I've seen some impressive results, things that you could do in After Effects with scripts and complex stuff. You can do with them very quick with Cavalry. You can check their websites or their Instagram. It's very interesting. I have to dig that thing a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, this is the final picture.
That's great.
And,
I couldn't put in a full screen, but okay, he's
That's
along
cool.
mine, so cool.
Cool. Yeah, it's a nice experiment. I've never painted live. I think I did it a few times in front of an audience, like in a room
Yeah.
with some friends, but I've never had an internet audience. So probably I will do some screencasts someday after that.
Yeah,
I think
man.
it's fun.
You have a lot of fans. Here's
Yeah,
one.
thank you.
I am your fan,
Thank you,
bro.
thank you.
And whenever you
Thank
want
you,
to
man.
come back to live sessions, just let me know, and we are really happy to have you here in
Wow,
in
thanks
Crad
a
Live.
lot. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it was a great conversation. I hope that everyone learned something or enjoyed the process and the conversation. I was a bit stressed at the beginning, but it went fine.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm so sorry that we didn't start at 9.
Yeah,
I
sorry
had a
guys.
really bad sleeping, so it was like, fuck.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we had some technical difficulties at the beginning, and that's the first time I'm screen sharing from the iPad, and I guess I gave you some stress too because of that, Andres.
No, it's fine.
That thing is a mess, but yeah, it worked.
This was the first time that I do like hard paint obligated in Photoshop, so it was
Right.
fine. So
Without security, without a net.
yeah. So guys,
Yeah.
thank you very much for watching this live stream. Please, well, not please. I invite you to follow us in Instagram. I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are going to have more live streams with different artists. Next Sunday, I will be having a live stream with Oscar Trejo from Mexico. He's a 3D artist, you know, and yeah, we're going to talk about 3D, about freelancing, about creativity, about creatures, about being creepy. Don't forget to follow Julien. Todos, por favor, sigan a Julien Schleiffer.
Gracias.
You say that?
Merci
Schleiffer?
beaucoup. Yeah, Schleiffer. Perfect.
Schleiffer. Follow him.
Thanks a lot,
his
guys.
work's amazing. And los quiero invitar, and I want to invite you to follow us in Instagram, like Sesiones Crad. I will show you the Instagram here. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, I did. So here it is, Sesiones Crad. You know, we are going to have an art event in July, so stay tuned because we are going to start, you know, talking about it next week. And for Instagram, it's going to be a special offer. So follow us on Instagram and be prepared for this first Crad Art Fest online event. You know, and that's it.
Thanks a lot, guys. It was a real pleasure to be around, Andres. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you.
And again, thank you everyone for being here. I'm glad I could have been of some help to some of you, and yeah, let's meet again soon.
Yeah, of course, man. Whenever you want
Cheers, guys.
to be here, I'll be happy to have you here. So thank you very
Thank
much
you.
to everyone. Thank you very much, Julien, for accepting the invitation.
Thanks a lot.
Non,
You're
merci
welcome.
beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Les prochaines fois, on va parler en français.
Ça marche. À la prochaine, du coup.
La prochaine, on va parler français. Et manger un pain au chocolat.
Et le pain, et on mangera des pains au chocolat, ça marche. I will cook them on my side.
Oh man, I have to cook them as well.
Perfect. So we can share it on each side.
Perfect. So, big
Cool.
cheers to Hassan, to Nicolas, to Santiago, to
Cheers,
Gabriel,
cheers, Nuno,
to Nuno, yeah, to
Nuno,
Jesus.
Gabriel. Thank you, tribe. Thank you, Jesus.
Who else
And,
was here? To Gabriel, to your friend.
Yeah.
To Javier,
San Jose.
to your sister.
My sis, yeah. Bisous, Elodie.
Anthony, Elodie, merci beaucoup, au revoir.
Merci
Ciao chicos,
beaucoup.
ahora sí, voy a desayunar.
Alright, thank you guys. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Listo, ready.